Three. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Good morning to me, and good afternoon to you guys. Al, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing fine, Robby. How you doing, man? You doing okay?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
You missing home, I hear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
It's
happens.
it it gets hard. It gets hard sometimes, but it has. When I get home, I want to come back here though. So it's kind of the way it is.
Understood.
Everybody seems
Understood. Yeah.
everybody seems to be bouncing in here. Let's see who we got. We got Dustin's in here from One Vision Arrow. He was first. Got Steve Knowles, like he was coming in second. Got USA Drone Flyer, Captain Joe. Who else we got in here? Mr. Fly Sky, Mark R. White. And let's see what we got here. So what's going on with you, Al? What's new in the wintry world of your trip?
Oh my gosh, there's so much I could show you, and I put a couple of little videos together for you guys to enjoy and for you to enjoy because you asked me to put something together for the show tonight. And what
Yeah.
was it you asked me to put together for the show tonight?
Well, one of the things we wanted to do is when I first started, before I even really flew my first drone, I think I had flown just a few times. Me and Al decided we're gonna have a drag race, and we're gonna race all the drones and see what the fastest is. So it was like I had nervous ticks. I was so nervous being on camera with Al, and Al made a video of that. And then he recently made another video of him and Brad, which has been what, 2 years, 2.5 years later, Al? Maybe
Yeah,
right in
yeah.
that range.
A little bit longer than that, maybe 2020. Yeah, I guess about 2 years. You're right. I just can't do
But
math.
I'll tell you what, we got three videos queued up that Al's got from his trip when it was snowing. And then after that, after we watch those, we'll look at some of the drag stuff that me and Al first started with, and then his and Brad, because they'll only let us queue up three videos in the system. So let's see what we got going on here. Everybody saying hello still. Yeah, there's Jim droning. Okay. Let's go ahead, Al, and pull up the first video. We got three short videos we're going to play. And let's start off with this first one. And Al, you can jump in and explain a little bit about what's in here. But it is really pretty, but we have more to show. So you guys stay tuned and stay on because we got some cool stuff to show tonight.
Yeah, so what you're seeing here is the Macaulay's Bowl. Macaulay's Bowl, and this is the top of the world. So it's right on the ridge. It's a beautiful location. It's really nice pictures. Yeah,
So it's a little windy today.
Yep.
it's a bit windy, as you can see.
Laura's actually headed right over there. That's where he'll come out. Hang on a sec. I've been, see where those people are right now?
Yeah.
I've dropped in right about there.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm going to turn the volume down on the video a little bit so we can chat.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's quite a steep drop, but it's so much fun. They had groomed it the night before, so it was a little bit chunky, but quite doable. You can see how fast we're going. Watch when the snow starts popping up and hit me in the face. The lady I'm skiing with is the instructor for the National Ability Center here. And you'll see that snow hit her in the face right there. That's how fast we're moving. So, yeah, interesting set of instructors. They blew my mind of what they can do to help people out with disabilities, visual and limb disabilities. So I'm just going to speed up the video here so we can get down the mountain. Just kind of give you a feel of how long the run is to get to the bottom of there. So by the third day of skiing, I had finally got my ski legs under me and adjusted to the altitude there. Most of the time we're skiing around 9,500 feet above sea level. And there's the end of the run. And then we move on to the next set. Here I just wanted to repeat and show you guys. The camera angle wasn't set right on my head that day, but I wanted to show you how pretty this place could be with all these beautiful trees. And I guess I'll get closer to the microphone. There we go. Can you hear me better?
That's better. Yeah.
Good.
Big wide difference. Look, if you go over to that side, you can see all of town below us.
Can I go over
Yeah.
there? Nobody on the side. You guys want a picture? Oh, wow. Look at that.
And later in another video, I did a
That's such a
CPL
diversity.
filter review for Freewell and put it on the Altel Nano Plus, and you'll see this slope from the air. And I kind of cut away with this to this shot here, so I'm being touristy here again. I'm just pulling out my camera because I wanted to kind of remember this moment. It's I'm skiing with good friends. I've been down to that part of the town. I've been working down there with the Sundance Film Festival, and now here I am with my buddies. And the person all the way up top there, she's the reason what made me go to Park City. She got me hooked up with the Sundance Film Festival.
Yeah. So here we go.
Okay, so this was another run, and this is the instructor going first. And I'm not paying to be instructed. We're just skiing together. She's just an instructor. Yeah, it's a bit windy. Everything's going uphill. The wind just howling. Very good skier. Her nickname's Ever Ready Bunny. She is one heck of a skier. She'll drop into those trees that we were looking at earlier, Robby. Yeah. So you can see it's a lot of fun. So that's what I've been doing for the last 3 weeks, Robby, just skiing my butt off and just enjoying it.
I dropped a moderator on a couple of you guys.
Yeah.
I dropped a moderator for a couple of you guys that are in the chat, so when it pops up, you'll know.
And I broke out my chat and I can't find it behind all my windows that I have open. So give you a second, guys, to respond. It's my mistake.
Y'all answer I put a poll in the chat, guys. Y'all got to fill it out. The poll is, will Al wipe out? Right now it says 57% no.
Did you hear? I saw your skis chattering.
The first couple of turns, man, it was.
You jump over the other one now.
Yeah, I saw your skis chattering.
Okay, so that was the end of that video. I'll go ahead and remove it. Okay. So while I was there, if you played a second one, I wanted to do a review of the CPL filter, but I'm not going to give away the whole movie because this one's already in the can. It's going to get produced or uploaded to YouTube and published by YouTube this Saturday. So guys, back me up, help me out. I need my analytics to tank it really bad because I haven't posted.
Park City. Right, this is Park City, the old part of town. This is all.
I'll drop you as a moderator also. If you're on there.
I'm going to reveal to you guys the Sundance Festival occurring right here. Fly right down the street. Just put it on there. It's going to be really hard for me to do it, but I'll give it a try.
Okay, so you get the idea about the this little filter, and I'll play it here, Robby. All right, this is the CPL filter from Freewell. We're going to test this thing out, so here we go. You can see this guy's a solid flyer. I mean, just solid flyer. Let's pick it up straight up. And look how beautiful this camera looks, guys, for the CPL filter. Unbelievably good. And again, I'm not going to give away the whole video.
It looks like a Christmas scene.
It works well. And here it is coming back to land. And the prop wash pushed it almost off the car. Yeah, buddy, you can do it. So the pop wash bouncing off the car is doing this. It wasn't me. Flight, or the weather's coming in, and I want to go skiing for the Altel Nano Plus CPL filter by Freewell. Oh my gosh, that thing is so much fun to fly. And the camera, even with the backlighting conditions with that much sun, the camera does a wonderful job of getting the details out of it. I don't know how to do it, but whatever algorithm they're using, it works well. Anyway, so now I am headed to go skiing at Park City, and then I'm going to take the gondola over, the Quicksilver gondola over, and go ski Canyon Valley because, oh my gosh, they have all these multi-million-dollar houses. I mean, we're talking $50 million houses right on the slope. You ski right out and right back in. Now, this town here was created because of mining, silver mining, and you can see that. Oh wow, look at that building.
Old mining village.
Look at that.
That's another mine building.
You guys mind if I get a picture?
Not at all.
I'm such a tourist. These buildings here are just amazing, right? Just amazing buildings. So anyway, let's get on down there, show what the skiing is like, and then I'll post that for you guys. But anyway, enjoy the video about the CPL filter by Freewell on the Altel Nano Plus. Give it a like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again. All right. I'm not sure why it stopped, but it stopped.
Okay, we got one more now.
Let's see, what do we have here? Oh, okay. So this is the instructor that I'm hanging out with, Christine, the Ever-Ready Bunny. Turn to do this just room diamond.
Now, what are you videoing with on your chest right now?
It's a GoPro 9, and she has the GoPro 9 on her head also. I tend to let my skis run a little bit more than she does, but her form is perfect. You know, her skis never even touch each other. Mine will bounce off each other every once in a while. Hers is perfect. And she doesn't pop as hard as I do. She leans into the mountain forward as she's shifting weight. Look how pretty that is. It's just gorgeous. And then I just beat it up because
Snowboarders.
we're dodging snowboarders. And, you know, look, I mean, what have we passed? Like 4 people so far, and that's it?
Yeah.
And there's 2 more there, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so the conditions were fabulous. You know, we're sitting at 0 degrees early in the morning, sometimes below 0. And by the time you get up to the top, it's even minus 10, minus teens.
Wow. It's pretty.
Did you hear it? And this is her husband on the right here. You'll see him just rocking and rolling. Yeah. And
Wow.
Roy is another instructor, but he doesn't do the disability. He just does the group instruction. Oh,
It
he'll do
looks like
private.
it looks like a great place to fly, though. It's beautiful out.
Oh yeah, you can fly all day long. And I
No
do have
rules or anything around there flying. They let you fly and everything if you want.
No, this is a no-fly zone because this is ski resort. You can fly when people are not on it, not on operation. You can see here, these guys are just a walk in the park.
Yeah.
Have pretty days. And then he gets tired of almost running into his wife, so he just lets her there.
Oh, wow. So you have the drag video ready? The first one we made?
I don't have that queued up yet, so let's go ahead and see what the folks are saying in the chat. Let's see, we got Eric Lipsy just joined. Thanks for coming by. One Vision Ariel, of course, is here. I know he wants to hit that with the snowboard. I mean, snowboarding out there is just uh, amazing, you know. Yeah, so I'm glad most of you guys voted that I would not crash.
67%.
I appreciate the support, guys. I really do. Thanks for that support. Oh man, so we have a lot of people joining, right? So that's very cool. All right, so I did not wipe out. So I did not. I had one wipe out where I actually was pretty hauling ass, about 35 to maybe 40, and I swear I didn't think the mountain was going to drop that far down below me, and I just came up over top, and I was like, just should have just gone with it, but I ended up um, getting on my edges too much, and then I knew they were just going to kick out anyway, so I just sat down, slid on my back, and did a barefooting start move, and I just twirled my skis around, planted them, and kept on rocking and rolling. Um, Mr. Kelly's here, Ray Kelly. I see you there,
All right.
saying hello. Appreciate you guys dropping by. Yeah, so let's see. We're discussing the quarter mile drag race video that I just released Saturday, right? Let me cue that up for you guys and just kind of walk you through it, and then I'll go ahead and I'll cue up. Did Brad ever make it into the video, Robby?
Nope, he's not in the back room.
Yeah, he said he was going to have a hard time meet the timelines because he had a bunch of errands he had to run. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the other video too, Robby. Let's see, what are the folks saying in there? Everybody's still saying. I know Jim Drone is saying that was a gorgeous place. Yeah, unbelievable, beautiful place, just beautiful. So next Monday night, kind of do a little promotion here, Robby. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. A friend of mine dropped by and he goes, "Look, I don't use this drone, and why don't you give it away on the channel?" So I will. I'll be giving a little whoop away here on the channel next Friday. Monday coming up. So stick around to the Duranify, or come on by the Duranify channel. There's Charles Gillespie saying hello.
Hey, Charles.
Thank you for dropping by. You got any videos you want to show, Robby, from the beautiful place of Thailand? I know
Not
you've
today.
been
I've been
posting some really nice pictures from.
Yeah, I've been taking more videos and more pictures, and when you're flying and you know getting different stuff, you fly in the same place a lot of times, and then finally you get to the point where you're like, man, I've flown everywhere within my travel distance that I want to do. So sometimes you really just like, I recently just like sit down and started saying, I want to go through like all the settings on the drone. I want to know more about the software in the drone, what it does, how to control my ISO and all the exposures and everything that are in the camera itself. And it's really funny because I started playing with it more now and making changes in it. And just from the small changes I've made, I've been working with the Mini 3 Pro. My images are so much better now than they were before because I understand the histogram and other things in there that I really didn't use that much before. And it's really made an improvement on the image quality and the video quality. And it's a learning process because your settings that you're using in the morning are going to be different than the settings you're going to use when the sun goes down and then during the middle of the day. So, I think a lot of the drone flyers that are in here, a lot of them may just use the standard settings that are on the drone and let it do auto. But in the Mini 3 Pro, when you start going through the pro settings and really going through on how to do it, and then along with that, the settings on your pan up and pan down, moving left, moving right, your speed control. So you can actually go into the controller there and you can control the cinematic, the normal mode or the sports mode, and you can set the remote. And I've set a lot of the stuff on my cinematic to move really, really slow because you know how it is. Before I would fly and then I would change my mind and say, okay, I want to get the sun behind me. And I just like, instead of stopping the video, I just swing around and then cut that out of the edit. And what I should have done is I should have just adjusted my yaw and everything. So when I'm moving around, I don't have to edit as much, and I still turn the video off and on, but I've spent more time working with the camera and it's really made a difference on the images and stuff that I've been capturing.
That is really good to hear that you're playing with those settings because they do make a tremendous difference making your video cinematic or just your pictures more cinematic or better pictures,
Yeah.
I should say. Yeah, that's good to hear. I'm still searching for that video on my channel. I know I have too many videos. So it was about 2 years ago, right, Robbie?
Yeah, it should have. Yeah, you'll have to go back a bit, but you've got a thumbnail for it. So, yeah. And another thing, I've been flying my DJI FPV for, I don't know, 4 months, 3, 4 months now, and I'm always doing video. And when I first started flying, I was a little afraid to go in and change my video settings when I was in the air flying because I was afraid I'm going to hit a wrong button, lose connection. There's a lot of wires and water around here. I didn't want to make any mistakes. But I never really went out and actually got any image shots with it. I've never really taken any image shots with it. And I'm looking through trying to figure out how do you take a shot? There's no button. There's no button. So on the remote, and most of you know that fly the DJI FPV, is you can hold down the video button or the picture button for like 2 seconds and it'll beep and it'll switch into the camera mode. So I took some images the other day with the camera, and you know what? For the DJI FPV, it's got a pretty good picture. And I just did basically out of the box, what the settings are that are through there. And one thing I
Yeah.
like about that is sometimes I want to get a picture that's further out, and I'll have my Mini 3 or my Mavic 3, and I'll say, okay, I want to go over here to this railroad and take a picture of a bird that's on the railroad track. And I'll spend all that time flying. Man, I can just get over there with FPV like this and take that shot now with that camera and come back and save a whole lot of battery from the GPS drone. So there is a place for the DJI FPV other than video as far as capturing images. You're not going to capture a Mavic 3 image from it, but you're going to capture a good image, especially if you learn and play with the settings. So I'm kind of like in a learning mode on learning more about the camera and stuff like that because I watched a couple of videos from some of the guys that do color grading, and they always say do color correction before you do color grading. So I'm working now on getting the color correction right and do the color grading after I understand more about how some of the cameras work. And it's a little confusing, so I took a little book with me, and I'll take the book out, and when I fly, I'll go out and say, okay, I'm going to shoot at this, and I'm going to turn on my histogram and this, and I'll make notes of everything I did. And then when I come back and pull the SD card out, I can go through and say, okay, here's this first shot. I did this. And I kind of use it as a referral to go back until I can memorize what settings to use for morning, for day, and for afternoon. So,
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that the progression that you're going through is kind of like the same kind of progressions you go through when you're learning to ski, right? You first learn to ski, you're just trying to freaking stay on top, and you're like freaking, you know, wedging yourself down, and then you finally learn to kind of point them downhill and then ski up a little bit,
yeah.
as crooked as it could be. You finish your turn and in a wedge, and then after that, after you kind of master slowing down a little bit, you decide to go faster and faster.
Yeah.
And then you go through that
Who in the
phase
chat?
period.
Who in the chat has the DJI FPV? Not a FPV, but the DJI FPV. Who has it that's in the chat? I'm curious to see how many people use it for taking images other than just video. Like during a week, Jim, when you go out and you fly, do you fly strictly FPV for video, or do you actually use it for some still shots from time to time?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know, to be honest with you. shoot.
Because there are a lot of times where I want to take an image and yeah, he takes his just for video. Take some shots with it. I was pretty impressed with the image quality that came off that. I wasn't expecting it. When I took the picture and brought it up off the sim, I was like, damn, this is actually a good picture coming from the FPV. So, unless you're looking for, if you're looking for a sunrise picture or something, you need to use your GPS drone. But if you're just going to fly a good distance away to get an image of something that you want, just take it with the FPV. You get there so much quicker and get back. You don't have to waste your battery on the GPS drone. But Jim, try that. Just hold down your where you start your videos. Mine's set up automatically, so when I launch, it starts video. But if you'll hold the button down, the right button on the controller for 2 seconds, it'll actually switch over to photo mode. Go out there and take a couple images, and you'll hear it when you click it because it'll go like click, click. You'll hear that it's an image, and then look how good the image looks on the DJI FPV. I was shocked on how good it looked out.
Yeah, I know. It's really, really shocking, right? Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and I'll show you the videos that I've found,
Okay.
and you'll see what I'm talking about here. You'll have to approve the share, of course.
Okay.
Okay, so I went to my channel, and I looked for this keyword up here, race. And these are the races that I've had before. This is the video that I just released this Saturday. Guys, I need your help. Go watch a video, please. Please do. Please, pretty please. Anyway, this is the video I released. I'm going to play it, and then we're going to go back in time and play the other video. Okay, so let's see. If I hit this button, yeah, I should have presented with audio, but oh well. So this is.
Can you go back and use
go
audio?
ahead and, yeah, go ahead and kick me out, or I'll kick it out.
Okay, kick it out and just come back in with video. Because I want you guys to see after this one, when I first started YouTube with Al, I want you to see not that there's a difference, but I was just so afraid of the camera.
Share system audio this time. Share. And I'm going to share. Okay, here we go. I think I'm going to be able to play it. Yeah, play.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Duranified channel. I'm here with Brad from the River City RDA channel, and we're going to be doing a drag race today, right?
Yep.
Which drone did you happen to bring today for the race?
For the first part, I guess we're going to use my Mini 2, and then I've got the Mini 3 Pro along with that, and with the
Use a can.
Yep,
We're
watch
100
for it
meters
now.
away.
All right, here it comes. I'm gonna watch for it as it comes directly overhead, and
Stop.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna go ahead and take it up to what do we say, about 140 feet?
120 would do.
120. All right, heading up.
And all the way
So we're
around.
gonna spin it around. There we go. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
So that was. I see a couple of them, 3 of them actually right now.
Yeah.
For the Mini 2. Now my Mini 3 should be.
I had the opportunity. Stop. Okay.
Yep.
First run.
Yeah, that was a good run.
Good. Here we go.
Were they all minis out?
Okay. 1.8. How's
No,
that?
not even close.
Yep. Within a couple
On
of
you-
feet.
Okay. On your mark, get set, go. Right down the middle
All right,
here,
so
man.
I did not. I'll turn down the volume
I'm
here.
going to be coming a little bit to the right, it looks like.
I did not post all the analytics on who won. It did not. I let that wide open for discussion and debate. And I'm going to be posting a follow-up video with that.
Here it comes.
Okay.
And
So I learned a lot from that day. We designed how to do the drag race, Robby, and I implemented a lot of that in this video too.
It's up there.
But I'm going to skip forward again to here.
All right. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so here's what where I would normally post the analytics, but I just gave you the raw data to look at. And this is for you to deduct who won or did not win. But what you got to do is go back to the video and write down the times if you want to know, or I'm going to do that for you and then put it out a video to help everybody out.
Hit that about to pass overhead shortly.
400 feet away. It is coming.
Well, you don't have to worry about batteries because you got enough damn drones. If you run out of battery, you just switch drones.
Absolutely, absolutely. That was the slowest drone right there. The Autel Nano.
Really? The Nano Plus was the slowest one. And what
Yeah,
was the
and-
fastest one?
I'm not telling you. You got to watch it. You got to figure it out. But I'll put together for the analytics. Okay. So
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and play that other video that I was talking
Okay,
about.
pull this one out.
And here it is right here.
This is funny. Me and Al had only known each other, what, a month maybe, Al, when we did this?
Yeah. I had met you in the hospital while I was laying on my back. After 14 surgeries, I was recovering. And then after you left, I actually ended up getting a reaction of vancomycin and then blew up like a freaking Michelin blimp, and all my skin fell off. And the red man syndrome is the nickname for that reaction because it's just systemic. You just like blow a freaking
Yeah.
And it was, and your skin turns red because it falls off. It's horrifying. I went through about 2 weeks of that. Basically, they just give you enough prednisone to make sure you don't die, but you're getting close to blowing out the kidneys. So it's pretty crazy stuff. So a lot of side effects from that, but I came out okay. I know I still had some issues with my skin and all that from there. All right, so Robby asked me to find this video for you guys. Okay, in this video, we called it a FEMI X8, Mavic Air 2, Xeno 2, Mavic 2 drone quarterfinal. But we didn't put in there was the Spark was in there too, but we decided not to race the Spark. Now,
Yeah.
Robby, make yourself big on the screen and explain why we didn't fly the Spark.
Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can make myself bigger here. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm putting Robby on the spot. Here we go.
Okay. I'm going to say why didn't we fly the Spark?
Yes. Can you give the audience some context why we didn't fly the Spark?
I really don't remember, but I know that when I first started flying, the first thing I flew was the Spark. And it was like, I want it out. I need this drone. And then after me and him, I think I put it up and he put another drone up and we took off. And as we took off, he was coming back the other direction. And I thought, wait a minute, maybe this is not the drone I want because it just didn't have the speed that I wanted. So I guess the whole point of the story is for new users, which I don't know that there's any new flyers that are in the group. When I first started flying, there's a lot of things to keep in consideration when buying a drone because you got to think about one thing. It's great that you got a long battery life, but if you're using a canoe, it takes a hell of a long time to get to China in the canoe. So your battery life doesn't mean anything, So I think it was irrelevant to really put in this race because it doesn't compare. It really, really doesn't compare. But I was just so impressed with, hey, there's a drone in the air. And, the thing is once I started flying for a couple of weeks, me and Al actually went and flew downtown and I had my Air 2 and they put up a no-fly zone and I couldn't take off. And here we are flying, trying to fly before the building comes down and they popped up that and I looked at Al and I said, Al, I can't get up and fly. And he goes, you've been flying a couple of weeks. You're on your own. I'll be honest, and Al knows. I was pissed because I was like, you mean we spent all this time to come down here and you're not even going to help me? So I asked for clearance then. It used to be when you register your drone, always make sure that you register your cell phone number because when you ask for permission to fly, it used to be where it would pop up on the controller and you would hit ask, and then they would send back a code that you would put in. Now, when I did it in Virginia Beach later, it finally came to where it would actually go into the software and release where you could fly. But to make a long story short, Al kind of took my training wheels off and said, sink or swim. And of course, over a period of time, although I did almost sink it once with a low battery, I did learn to fly the drone.
Okay, pop me in the conversation again with the video. All right.
Okay.
Now make us big side by side, if you don't mind.
Okay, hold on.
So while Robby's doing that, I wanted to give you guys some context too on that little spark. So that little spark, Robby had helped me do a couple things to set up a web page and had done a couple things. And to help me on setting up some of the content creation that I was going through. So I decided Robby's still struggling with the button. Come on, Robby.
I think mine is beside each. I can't figure out on here how to do it beside each other. I think I got to remove that.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
You got it. All right. So remember in payment, what did I give you for helping me out on the web creation? I gave you the spark, and you ended up. You still have the spark. I hope.
Yeah. Kamika, my wife does, and she's
I'm putting him on the spot again, guys.
Yeah. I haven't flown it since I've been here. Kamika has. But then when she saw the Air 2S and I was flying that, she was flying that, she switched controllers and she's like, "Why you let me fly this? I want this one."
All right, bring that thing back. I'll give it at home.
Yeah.
All right, so that gives you guys the content of the spark and how Robby and I met. Okay, so here's the video. I'm going to go ahead and cue it up. What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the random.
Turn the volume on just a little.
Videos about a drag race between these 4 drones. And this was like the first time I saw myself in video that I did not have bow legs, Robby. I mean, I was so bow-legged before. Now I got straight legs. You can see I'm wearing a sleeve over my left knee.
Turn it up just a little bit, Al.
200-meter drag race, or it's equivalent to the quarter-mile drag race. So let's get into it. Boom.
It was a fun day, though. I remember we were at the football field at the school.
Yeah, that was the Glen Island High School football field. And we're racing the Zeno 2, the Mavic 2 Pro, and the Zeno 2, I said that, and the Feeney X8 SE. But to give you the context, Robby had flown the X8, and this is the field we were flying to and flying back. So we figured out you had to fly 402.3 meters away or 1,320 feet away. And then turn around, okay, and you fly right back over the imaginary line that we have. We're supposed to stand in that, right? Remember that? And this is Glen Island High School. And they have a turf field, brand new high school at the time. 4 years old now. And we're standing at the end of the drive, this parking lot. You see that shadow?
Under the tree, it was hot as hell.
Boom. There's the first one. It took 24.53 seconds. Okay. 36 and a half miles. That's freaking cooking, right? Even for today's standards, it's pretty good. Okay. Okay.
Refresh to the return point. Please mind the return position.
Al, I might have had an Air 2 by this point. I don't really remember.
Yeah. You bought the Air
All
2
right, this is
next
the
month, I
Hudson
believe.
Zeno 2. We're gonna do the Hudson Zeno 2. Okay, so now I'm in expert mode. And I'm coming back.
I call that expert mode, but Hubson calls
On
it
your mark,
sports mode, by the way.
get set, go.
Yeah, YouTube notification didn't pop up. Yeah, exactly.
16 meters a second, 18 meters a second,
I'm not flying very straight, so I'm going to have to do
18.7,
some corrections. I'm
18.8,
going to
nineteen meters a second.
waste some energy, and I figured
A
it's
little
out
off course.
in a little bit.
Okay, ready, stop.
Not bad at all.
Wow, that thing was moving,
36.17
man.
miles an hour. That was cooking, Robbie. Even for today's standard. I mean, we're talking huge drones, though. I mean, we're talking big, 800 grams, right? Not
Yeah,
sub 250. I'll still have that guy, and it still flies well.
it's a good
I'm
place to
definitely going
fly
to
though.
sell
That
it.
school is good. They needed
I'm
more
going to,
shade because
yeah,
hot.
yeah.
There we go.
And there's our
All
imaginary
right, guys.
line
So the
right there,
next guy
guys.
to
All those
fly
cones.
is going to be the FEMI X8 SE, and
Now,
this is a 2018
we should put a poll in there for the
version,
audience.
not the
Which one do you think is going to
2020,
win
but the
this race?
2018 version.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
The Xeno 2, the X8 by Feeney, or is it the Mavic 2 Pro? Now, I still fly this 2018. I actually flew it at the Florida Drone Meetup, right, Kelly? I don't know if you remember me flying it, but I was flying that white thing. I know everybody was like, "What is that thing? What is that white drone flying?" They're all DJI people there, man. They see a Feeney X8 go up. They're like, "What is that thing?" Yeah. Thank you, Robbie, for doing that, man. Appreciate you putting up
After we
the
watch all
survey.
this on the next show, we can have Al show you my great bicycle wreck where I tried to do a wheelie and the chain fell off.
That's a good
I
one. That's
busted
a
my
good.
leg up. I busted my leg up in 102-degree weather.
Yeah, and that bike dropped his chain, and you kept on pedaling, but it really didn't happen.
It's funny
Oh, I
where we
like
all
that
start
rocking
off
music.
when we start flying drones. It's funny where we start off and then after we get experience, we look back and we think we overthink learning to fly. But on the other hand, it's kind of good because we need to keep the caution of pay attention to what's going on. I think one of the biggest things that I learned early on when me and Al were flying is we would fly the same drone. Like we would both fly the Air 2. And
That
one
was
time
the winner.
yeah, I
That,
looked at Al one time and I said, Al, I said, my drone's not moving. And I was moving it left, right, up and down. It would not move to save my life. And Al looks at me and goes, Robbie, that's my drone, not yours. I was ready to hit a tree over here.
yeah, Robbie was watching my drone fly, thinking it
You
was
remember
his.
that? We were down at the river.
Robbie, that's not my drone. It's yours. Yeah, see,
We
I
had some
screwed
good
this
times.
up really bad in this flight, guys, and I apologize. I left it in the Mavic 2 Pro was not in sport, and, and so it would have won the race. I'm sure it would have, but since I was flying the normal mode, it, you know, it came in dead last.
Oh, when I did the poll, I didn't put what drone. I just put what drone will win the race, yes or no. Sorry, guys.
That's all
I'm
right.
new at doing the polls. Johnny says he thinks the Feeney win the race.
Yeah, the freebie threw 37 miles an hour.
The
So
Feeney reminds me of a Roadrunner. You know the old supercar Roadrunner. Al flew
yeah,
it one time at the river, and the thing was just like this the whole time it was trying to hover.
All right, I gotta turn off the audio here. I was playing. Yeah, so good times, right, Robbie? I mean, shoot,
Yeah.
man, we've been flying those drones. In this video, Robbie was made. Let me look at it. When was it made? It was
Hey, I'll put
published.
my channel, I'll put Travel Tech and see if I've got the drag race with me talking, my version of it, because I film you in mine. It's on my channel. It's like one of the first videos I ever made.
Yeah, it was. It says it was 2 years ago, but when is the published date? Add to
Uncle
queue,
Bill.
download, share. It just says 2 years ago. It doesn't give me any analytics. I would have to dig in a little bit to give you the exact date, but yeah. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Yeah, Uncle Bill, you're right about that. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Hmm.
Look on my channel and pull that up, Al.
All right, let me see if I can find it.
You know, it's kind of like in the drone community right now. Everybody's out flying, talking about things and little issues, but we kind of got a break from all those drones that were coming out over this last year. You know, just as soon as we would get one and get excited about what it's going to look like, what the battery life is, and it would come out within a couple of weeks, another one would come out. And now it's like we get a little bit of a breather to fly, and then we're dealing with weather, winter weather, or I know down where Johnny's at, he's been dealing with a lot of rain.
Yeah, so true.
Did you find it out?
I'm trying to find it, Robbie. Give me a second.
It's one of the first ones on Travel Tech at the very bottom. If you click on videos, that's in there.
We gotta find the channel again.
Thanks for stopping by, Bill. We appreciate it. Yeah, Jim says he's got snow and wind there. Joe, what's the coldest you've flown in so far? I mean, Jim, what's the coldest you've flown in so far down there? Or up there, shall I say? It should be close to the same images you have with all the drones on it, near the bottom somewhere.
Well, I'll share my screen, see if you can spot it.
Okay,
I don't see it.
let's
I'll
see
share my
here.
screen.
Scroll down lower. Wow, where is it? I know it's in there. Scroll up a little bit, Al. Keep going.
Yeah, I did not see it, Robbie.
I don't either. That's strange.
Yep, I did not see it. So, oh well.
Okay, well, forget that.
Yep, it is. It is what it is. Stop screen sharing. Okay, so let's see what else is happening over there, boys, in Ontario with -8 degrees.
Wow.
You guys been snowmobiling? Oh hell yeah, snowshoeing, cross country
Hey,
skiing.
Bill, tell me this. What did you notice, battery or how the drone flew in that kind of cold weather? What kind of warnings? You get any warnings on your remote? High winds, anything about temperature? Did your battery go lower? Tell us what you experienced with doing that. Now, Jim is flown in -20.
Yeah, -4. I was getting normally get 18 minutes. I was getting maybe 5.
Wow.
5 minutes. Yeah, so it's less than 25%. Yeah. So
Do you think maybe that you need to strap a heat warmer to it? You know those things that you put the liquid in and you wrap up in your pocket?
no, you'd be better off getting one of those hand warmers. You know, the chemical compact things.
Yeah.
But the problem is going to be that, yeah, you can put that on there. It would work. It really would. The best way to do it would be, like most drone companies will run a heating element across
Mhm.
across the batteries.
when I fly here, if I've let the drone sit too long before I take off and it's really hot weather, it'll give me a heat warning. Once I take off and I go, I'm fine because it'll cool down with flying. But I've flown it so hot here that the props, you could tell the props were soft from the heat. It was so hot here.
Hey, yeah, big news. Dennis Lovelady is up there with the Rhode Island Drone Meetup Group, which is Mark Fisher's group. I know he's been up there skiing. I'm sorry, flying. I got skiing on one mountain, yeah, so forgive me, guys. Anyway, he's been up there flying with those boys. I know he's going to be coming through Richmond, so Brad and I are going to host him. We're going to treat him to a steak dinner and have a good time. So
All I'm
yeah,
saying here that he's got prop ice is real. Man, he
yeah,
must
I'm not
flown
that
just
conservative, Jim. I usually fly farther than 500 meters, but not much farther. Usually about
I've seen that.
800.
I've seen Al fly so far that it had to come back home on its own. I just freak out. And I'm like,
Yeah,
Al, and then I look down and I'm like, hey, he loses one. He got like 14 more drones in the bag.
no, I'm not. I mean, I get very shaky about it too, but at the same time, while you're flying, I'm like, yeah, I got it. Let's
Yeah.
see,
But
we
tell
got
me the
0
one
degrees
time,
here in Manchester with 3 mile an hour. Dang, unfortunately, it's
hey,
1
Al.
a.m. You're right. Yeah, man, thanks for staying up so late. I appreciate it,
Yeah,
Mark
thanks,
R.
Mark. We
White.
appreciate it.
Yeah, really
Al,
do.
tell
Mhm.
everybody what the most stressful time when you were flying a drone was when things went wrong.
Oh my
What's the
gosh,
biggest
that's
panic that you ever had?
it is Skydio too for sure. And I'll
I
go
felt
into
so
the
sorry
channel.
for Al.
Yeah.
I felt sorry
Well,
for
you
Al
and
on that.
I, without your help, I would have never got it back, right? Or a replacement. Because
Well,
we really tried.
teamwork, my
Really,
friend.
yeah, it was teamwork for sure. So
We just couldn't
go ahead.
believe that
I
it
want to
malfunctioned.
say again.
We couldn't believe that it malfunctioned. It was just like
I
it was
know
like a bad dream that
it
had
was
happened. It was just like a bad dream.
yeah, it really crushed us, Robbie. And you know what? I'm sharing my screen with you because I found
Okay.
that video we're talking about. So the
Okay.
video was called Skydio 2 Malfunction Lands in River. So let's, let's cue it up. So if you want to check it out on my channel, there it is. There, Pretty Girls made my drone crash too. That's another good one. I was actually flying there first, and then this photographer comes along and sets up shop right next to, I'm sitting at a picnic table, and next picnic table next to me is this pretty girl getting set up to get a photo shoot. How distracting is that?
Al, play your video.
Which one? Pretty girl?
Play the where the Skydio went down.
Okay. Twist my arm. Here we go.
Volume.
Skydio. I was out here flying my drone. 30% battery at 7:30 in the evening. The Skydio 2 decided to go down right behind me, right there.
The water was so rapid and running that day. When the drone went in, I looked at Al, and Al looked at me, and I was like, I better not jump in that water. I probably drowned.
Oh, this kind of conditions right here, guys. These are only pros are allowed in here. If you get caught going in this river with this, you got to pay for your own rescue.
Yeah.
Went in the water. I had 30% battery. 30% battery. My controller had 45% battery, and the size of the land right there. Why? I don't know. The return to home didn't work. I'll show you over here where we took off from.
So I was filming Al and I was with him when this happened.
Okay, so guys, see this platform right here? This is the platform I was flying from. And I had to drone maybe 10, 15 yards out. and it started landing right in the water. Why? I don't know. So sick, I could throw up. Was I mad or what?
No,
You
you
know?
were pissed. Well, you were pissed, but on the other hand, you were just like in your head, you just couldn't explain what happened.
These three guys right here, they later pray with me. But me on the platform right here, desperately trying to do everything I can to get this thing back. You can see as he's coming back, there's the Skydio 2. There's the Skydio 2 right there. Look at that. Right there.
That's me
You
filming
can
the
see me
Skydio.
on the platform right here, desperately trying to do everything I can to get this thing back to the platform. One thing to note, these three guys right here, they later pray with me. But let's get back to the case in point. As Robby is putting his Navigator 2 away, you will see the Skydio 2 between the handrails. So give us a count. Those three guys right there, man. Later, after this thing went in the water and freaking crashed, you can see it right there over my shoulder. They prayed with me, man, that something would happen, get reimbursed. And sure enough, Robby, we did teamwork, and their prayers
Yeah,
and were answered. Um,
yep,
so as you can see right now, I'm trying to connect using. I mean, I pulled out the fob instead of my controller, thinking that maybe I can connect with a fob and get it back.
exactly.
Because I had plenty of battery, available to be able to get it back. And this is where I'm talking about. These three guys are sitting there praying with me. What you see right here, right now, that's us three of us praying that, we'll have a good outcome. So,
Includes healing, Lord. So we thank you for the healing that's already taken place and for the thankfulness in his life right now. And we thank you that the pain is going now in Jesus' name.
amen. Boom. Boom. So, what was your take, man?
I was in shock when it was trying to land. It wouldn't let you do anything. It wouldn't come home. It was just hovering there, and it was above our base that we were actually on. So
Yeah.
it wasn't too close to the water. Wasn't any issues there.
No, it wasn't any pilot error. It was just some kind of malfunction. Because it
It
wouldn't
was
respond to
it was like it went into a pause mode or something,
Yeah.
and just wasn't accepting any commands at all.
and then decided to land for some crazy reason. Why? Why not return to home?
Right in
Why
the
do
water.
we have a fail-safe software to just return to home?
Exactly.
Connection?
Something to stop it.
Yeah.
Take it back up.
If the connection is lost, go up and come back.
Exactly.
I don't get it. I really don't get it.
You
All
know,
right.
this is a good example when you go out flying. It's
Okay.
always good to have a partner or somebody to fly with or have your camera pointed in the direction of the drone because when things like this happen, it really helps to have a little bit of extra proof. Now, I brought my drone in when this happened with Al because Al was like, bring your drone in. We got a problem. I almost wish that I would have left my drone running on Al's where I could have watched it hit the water. But luckily, we all contacted Skydio and say, a lot of us don't have them. We're interested, but we want to make sure that you're going to fulfill your end from a manufacturer's end out before we would even consider buying the drone. And sure enough, they did replace it. So it's always good to fly with a buddy when you go out.
Watching that video, Robby, it still makes me sick to
too.
my stomach, man.
Me too.
I
I
could
felt
just see
sorry
my
for you.
pupils dilated that bad. Yours were dilated. We were just in shock mode, right?
It was just like, we got good equipment. It's not like we're buying used crap that's junk.
Yeah.
We have like we keep our stuff in prime and I was just like, Al, what could have happened? We didn't know whether the sensors got confused with the water, but the problem is it wasn't close enough to the water for the sensors to have an issue. It wasn't that high.
I know, right? Well, I'll tell you how this Skydio product is freaking good product. I'm talking about going back down memory lane. I'm going to go ahead and queue up another video here, Robby. I'll
Okay.
present it.
Guys, y'all hanging with us. If you need to drop out, we understand. We're just kind of
And
going
I'll
down memory lane here.
Yeah, we're definitely going down memory lane, and then I'll stop sharing, and I'll shut up. Here we go. All right, so this is Skydio 2 is the maiden flight, and what I wanted to do is just take it through its paces, and I put it in follow me mode right behind me, and I'm riding my bike across the Lee Bridge. It's the bridge is like Route 60 going across the James River, okay? And it's going straight across the James River. The problem is that the suspension bridge here, and you can see that the suspension wires is having a hard time mapping them. And as I
Wow.
pick up pace, so it's definitely mapped this whole area well. You can see it, okay? And you can see my camera view from my helmet that in the lower right hand quadrant. But there it just swung, it just missed, and it just missed again. But as I'm picking up speed, I'm going up here, and it is hot as hell, as usual in Richmond in the summer.
Yeah.
It's humid. Actually, it's hot, but it's humid is a problem. So here's the problem right here. Boom.
Wow.
Drops like 6 feet and recovers. Now,
Exactly.
anytime a DJI would have done that, guy, besides the Avata, okay,
Yep.
besides the DJI PB, because it in its flight controller firmware is programmed that if you know it goes over 35 degrees, it automatically shuts its motors down. Obviously, FPV drones do not do that because we're want them to put them over 35 degrees, right?
Yep.
Because we're flipping them and we're doing barrel rolls and all that, right? Yeah. So, yeah, this is the freaking best tracking drone in the world today, in my opinion. Unless there's something the government has, this is by far the best tracking drone in the world. It will track you real well. You put it in front of you. I got the fob in my hand. You see it right here. I'm going to switch till I go to my left, and it's still there. I wish I had electric bike. So if anybody wants to donate an electric bike, throw it my way. I'll be glad to help you get the reviews done correctly. Uh, so yeah, because I'm pedaling my ass off in the middle of the summer here, but you can see that this thing tracks really, really well.
Yep. It does.
Yeah. And there's all my kayak buddies pulling out right there. Boom. Yeah. It's a freaking good drone, man. It's a really good drone. It'll track you through the woods. It'll track you into places. It'll track you into a warehouse. Where's that warehouse I went into? Yeah, see this warehouse here? I went into this. It used to be a holding place for Confederate soldiers, okay? I'm sorry, for Union soldiers. When they got caught, they would put them in here and hold them. This was then refurbished. It didn't want to go in. It hit. It knew
Yeah.
that it could map it, and you can see my helmet cam here. I'm already in there going, hey, where are you?
Yeah.
Come back here. Then I go back out. Okay, there you are. Come on back.
Yeah.
Track me back in here. And it should have tracked me back in there. Let me see. Did it? I know I got it to go in there. I did. I did get it to go in there.
We should have run a test where you came in and I went out on a different bike to see if it could tell us apart.
I did get
It
it to
was fun.
go in there, though. I don't
Hey,
know where it is.
I was doing active track with the Mini 3 on the track across the street at the school, and there was some really pretty girls walking around. So I was active tracking my buddy walking, and all of a sudden he gets too close to the girls and it starts following the girls. And he looks and he goes, "What's wrong with this drone?" I was like, "It's definitely a man drone."
It's smart.
It switched and started following the girl.
Okay, so I finally got it to track me in there. Okay. I think I ended up, I don't know, having it to go in there first. Yeah, no, I flew it in here first. That's what I did. Look, I want to take it off in here. Okay. And then that's how I got it to track because it wouldn't go through this small opening because I had not set the setting that you can go down as low as the ground to track things. I had given it a minimum of something like you couldn't go below like 10 feet. And that was a problem trying to get through that opening. So that's That's me pedaling, and there's the drone in front of me, but it's moving backwards, looking at me. Okay, and I'm going to switch the camera here in a second, I believe. I don't know if I did or not, to be honest with you, but you can see that it's flying quite well, not running into anything. And I think right here is when I spin around, I get it to, yeah, see, and I'm like checking back. Is it still there? Yeah, it's still there. So it's definitely the best tracking drone around. I really need to pull it out some more.
You should have taken it on your trip with you.
Well, the problem is, no drones allowed, and this thing is loud.
Yeah.
It will track it. I mean, I can go to the backwoods country area, but it's like
It'd be nice in just big area, big wide open areas. It would just be so cool to be able
yeah, no,
to
it
use.
would. Yeah, I agreed. If you got the key fob and you screaming down the mountain 40 miles an hour, that thing should be able to track that 40. Because the fastest I hit was 47, 48 that day.
I'm going to see if I can log in. Hold on a second, Al. I'm going to see if I can log in to StreamYards with my cell phone because I want to show you guys something. I live on the outskirts, or shall I say the wall beside me is the sidewall from my subdivision to an area that goes into the jungle here in Thailand. And there's a huge pond. It's very big, you'll see. And we have like a lot of, I guess the white bird, I think in the US we call it like an ingrid. Is that what it's called? The big, tall white birds?
Egret.
Yeah. So we have a few of these over here. And we don't know whether the shrimp have hatched because they actually raise shrimp and fish beside us. We don't know if the babies have hatched or what's going on because there's so many birds flying. So I'm going to look and see. I'm trying to log in again as another member, Al. And if it is, I want to show you guys because I want y'all to see what I've been seeing the last couple of days. All right. And I may have to turn it around. Let me see if I can enter here. Enter studio. I don't know if it's going to let me actually flip my camera around. Okay, I got to put a name in here. There we go. So I'm gonna go on here twice.
There we go. So I got my phone here. I'm gonna have to walk outside here. But I want you to check out these birds. Wish I could flip the camera, but I can't, guys. But check this out. Look, I got to get down here so I don't scare any of them off. But look at this.
Yeah, I wish I could make it a big screen. I don't have the administrative privileges. Yeah.
In the trees. I mean, everywhere.
Time to fly your quietest drone you have, and that's your Mini 3.
Yeah.
I would fly the Mini 3 real quietly through there.
Some of these that are in here. Now look, can y'all see that thing in the ground there?
Yeah, but the picture's so small, it's kind of, oh, I see it now. Yeah, I see that. He's walking carefully. Right at the shoreline.
So some of these birds are like 5 foot tall, huge wingspan.
Well, hell, if you want some action, just fly your FPV through there.
Nah, that ain't gonna happen there. So this area with the grass is, I had them cut it down. It used to be like this.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Give you a little
But it's not
visibility.
It's not an area that you want to walk in. There's cobras over there, a lot of pythons and stuff like that. And at night here, even when I have the lights on outside, I have to keep them off because I get bees that come in. I'm gonna log back on.
Yeah, because you're definitely getting reverb.
Okay, so yeah, so there's a lot of animals. Now that's where it starts to go into the jungle. The deeper in the jungle you get, I mean, you can get in there deep enough where the elephants are and everything else. And I'm definitely not going in there.
Well, listen, Robbie, we've run 10 minutes over, so I want to
Yep.
thank everybody for hanging out with us and just kind of enjoying this wonderful evening with the World Drone community. Don't forget, Monday we'll be doing the giveaway of a small little whoop on the Dragonfly channel at the same time, 7 o'clock Monday. Robbie, that's my promotions, and I'm sticking to it. What is yours?
Okay, I would like to see more people that are in here posting more stuff on Instagram. And I just went through, I didn't realize that I wouldn't subscribe to a lot of you guys, and I went through and subscribed. So if I'm not subscribed to you, find me under Travel Tech 360 where I can subscribe back to you and start posting stuff. And we need to all be making more comments and likes and stuff on all our videos, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube in general, because it really helps out with the algorithms for all of us. So, and that's really about all I had to say.
Yeah, well, once again, guys, thanks again for dropping by. Yeah, it's been a wonderful time hanging out with you guys. I really do appreciate you guys' time. And with that said, good night, you guys. Peace, love, and see you next Monday.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys later.
Bye bye.